So let's weigh in. So before we can talk about which letter is the best example of good writing, we have to talk about the ransom letter genre. Now you probably have some experience with ransom letters. Not personal experience, mind you. You hopefully haven't written or received any. But you've watched a crime show or movie, you know? So you know what one is when you see it. You know, as the audience, what to expect, what sorts of features it's supposed to have, what its purpose is. So the purpose, of course, is to get money. And most importantly, don't get caught, right? So features you would expect the writer of that ransom letter to follow in order to fulfill that goal, right? Is to be intimidating and authoritative. Um, to sound confident, to sound scary, to sound smart. Those are all important things, right? Um, Anonymity, because you don't want to go to jail, you know? You really need to hook and open up with a threat. Like there should be something that gets the reader's attention and lets them know that you mean business and that they need to pay attention, right? And of course you're supposed to anchor with don't call the police because it's part of the like the not getting caught thing, you know? Clear communication is important, clear directions for meeting place and time. Being concise is actually really important. I don't know if in your writing before you've been told be concise or you've told you need more details. Sometimes it depends, and you know, a ransom letter is the kind of genre where you really don't want to have a lot of details because the more details you include, the more likely you are to give away something that you shouldn't, you know, and have fluff that really takes away from the goal, you know, the main focus. So you can walk away today knowing that you have learned in writing class how to write a ransom letter. Okay, so the winner is number one. It has the right content, the right order. It's threatening, it's smart. The thing with ransom letter 2, it has the same content as the first one. Same order, same organization. It starts with a hook. It has the details, but if you go back and have you look at this again, ransom letter 2. This person doesn't sound super smart. This actually doesn't even remind me of a ransom letter. It reminds me more of a ransom text. Maybe a ransom tweet. I don't know. And the spelling is an issue, and here's why. Texting language has abbreviations that are purposeful and that we know what they mean. But look at this. There is absolutely no reason to misspell have here. That's not really an abbreviation. And what is going on here? Like these don't look like abbreviations. They don't look like texting language. They just look like this person can't spell. And so even though it has all the information you need, it's concise. I mean, it'd be really hard to take this person seriously. And if you're moving on to ransom letter 3, because the most common reaction that I get is that ransom letter 3 is the best example of good writing. And ransom letter 3 actually does have some really good things about it. Like if you read through it, you'll notice like the grammar is and the spelling are impeccable. The format for the letter is great. In terms of talking to the audience, it's polite. It has lots of details. It has really good flow. I don't know if you've ever gotten that kind of feedback where someone says like this doesn't flow or does flow, and a lot of people I find like aren't even really sure what that means. It's just one of those things that gets thrown around a lot. It actually means that either big picture wise your ideas like flow and transition well together. It can also mean that your sentences flow, that there's almost like a rhythm, that you're switching up your sentence structure and have different transitions so it doesn't sound like laundry list style. It sounds like conversational and fluid and rhythmic. So it actually has really nice flow. The problem with number 3 is that this person's going to jail, right? And here is why. They're not anonymous. You probably picked up on that. My son Matt. It's not intimidating. This person is polite. I guess that's not always appropriate, right? They're polite, not authoritative. They are willing to compromise, which is not the message that you want to send if you're trying to get a lot of money. Way too many details. Not all genres, not all genres really need a lot of details, and in this case, this is one of those genres that really appreciates, you know, keeping it down to the nuts and bolts, like getting to the point, you know. And I guess, a lot of people see these common things. Like we tend to see, like you might even in your response have things like good format, nice flow, grammar, sentence structure. All of these things can be really good. But one of the things that you'll notice, especially if as I go back here, I'm going to pull these three up again. Nope, sorry. Jumping around. Is that I know a ransom letter isn't a type of academic writing necessarily, but there are lots of different styles of writing, and even within academic writing, there are lots of majors, and those majors have lots of different genres. And a lot of those genres like different things. So the goal here is that with Ransom Letter 3, even though it has like some things that we would typically say like, oh, that's good, it doesn't fulfill the goal. The goal is to get money and not get caught. And since this person is not going to get the money they want, and they're definitely going to get caught. If they show up to this place, they didn't even say like, don't call the police. This person's going to go to jail. So Ransom Letter 1, even though it doesn't have the same details or flow, some of the things that might make us, say this is good, it's actually the better example of good writing, because in this genre, in this context, it's the one that's going to be the most successful. That is the end of the ransom letter activity. I hope I complicated things just a little bit, and maybe kind of opened up how we're thinking about how possible it is to really define good writing, and how that could look different for different people. And then I'm going to have you move on to the next activity, which is peace.